Hello, good evening, welcome once again to Mr. Isaac's math class. Um, if this is your first time of coming to my channel, I advise that you kindly subscribe to my channel so that anytime I post educative math videos, you will be the first to be notified. Now, today we are going to be answering a very serious question. And look at that question on your screen. It says, is it possible to look at a large number and tell whether or not it is divisible by, say, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10? Is that possible? Is it possible that I can look at a large number and tell whether or not that number is divisible by, let's say, 3 without doing the actual division? Is it possible? And to help us answer that question, we're going to be looking at tests of divisibility. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to look at is the test of divisibility by 2. So we're looking at numbers that are exactly divisible by 2. How can we identify them? How can we identify numbers that are exactly divisible by 2? That's the question we're going to be asking. And look at this. It says a number is divisible by 2 if it is an even number. So every number that is divisible by 2 has to be an even number, and every even number is divisible by 2. Now, how can we identify an even number? What is it that can make us know very quickly that a number is even? So look at this. Even numbers end with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Any number that the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, such a number is an even number and is automatically divisible by 2. No matter how big, how large the number is, you can tell if any of its last digit is, if its last digit is any of the numbers you can see on your screen. All right, so let's take some examples. Now look at these numbers: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. These numbers are divisible by 2. They are even numbers. 40 is an even number because it ends with 0. 345,276 is an even number, and so it is exactly divisible by 2. The number 9,880, wow, that's a big number, isn't it? Yes, but we can tell without actually doing the division that the number 9,880 is exactly divisible by 2. What about the next number, 7,684? Yeah, that's a big number too, but we can tell. Yeah, because it's an even number. How do I know it's an even number? The last digit is even. The last digit is 4 and it's even. It makes that number even. Look at the next number. It's such a big number. 89,872. Wow, this is another big number, but we can tell that this number is in fact divisible by 2. It's an even number. So it's pretty easy to tell whether or not a certain number is divisible by 2. Once it's an even number, it's automatically divisible by 2, and we can tell that without actually doing the division. All right, so let's talk about 3. How can we know whether or not a given whole number is exactly divisible by 3? How can we tell? Now, to know if a large number is divisible by 3, add the digits of the number. Add the digits of the number. And what do you do with that? Let's look at the next slide. If the sum gives a multiple of 3, then the given number is divisible by 3. If you are given any number and you want to check any large number, for that matter, and you want to check whether or not that large number is exactly divisible by 3, you simply add the digits of the number. And if you get an answer that is a multiple of 3, then the number in question is divisible by 3 exactly. Let's take some examples to make that even clearer. So look at this on your screen. We have 15. 15 is a two-digit number. Now, if we want to know whether or not 15 is divisible by 3, just add the digits of 15. Just let's assume we never knew whether 15 was divisible by 3. Just add the digits, just 1 plus 5, and that gives us 6. Oh, we know that 6 is very easy to know that 6 is divisible by 3, because 6 is a multiple of 3, is a small number. So it's very easy for us to know that 6 is divisible by 3. Now, since the sum of the digits of 15 give us a number that is exactly divisible by 3, then we know that 15 itself is in fact exactly divisible by 3. It's pretty easy and straightforward. Let's take the next example. Look at the number 63. Now, 63, how do we know 63 is whether 63 is divisible by 3? Okay, we add the digits. 63 is a two-digit number. So we add the digits together. We say 6 plus 3. 6 plus 3 gives us 9. And 9 is exactly divisible by 3. 9 is a multiple of 3. That tells us that 63 is divisible by 3. We didn't do the division. No, we didn't. But if you want to check, you can go ahead and do the division, and you see that 63 divided by 3 is going to give you 21 without any remainder. And if you can check 15 divided by 3, it's going to give you 15 without any remainder. Isn't that beautiful? Well, that's beautiful. Now let's check the next number on yours. Oh, this is such a large number. 18,063. It's a big number. But let's check. Yes, let's check. If we add the digits of 18,063, that's a 5-digit number. So if we add 1 to 8 to 0 to 6 to 3, we're going to get 18. All right, already we know that 18 is a multiple of 3, but just in case you don't know, you're not so sure whether 18 is a multiple of 3, just add the digits of 18 again, and that's going to be 1 plus 8, and it gives you 9 as we got in 63. That tells us that 18,063 is exactly divisible by 3. And you can go ahead and confirm that, and you're going to get 6021. If you divide 18,063 by 3, you will get exactly 6021. That's 6,021. That tells us that that number is exactly divisible by 3. It's not that hard at all to find out. Now let me show you something very interesting about numbers divisible by 3. I want to show you something very interesting. Now look at the number 15. We have already established the fact that 15 is exactly divisible by 3 by the test of divisibility by 3. Now look at this. If 15 is divisible by 3, then if we decide to change the order of the digits in 15, that is, if we decide that the digit 5 should come first before the digit 1, we're going to get 51. Now, it's amazing, pretty amazing to discover that 51 is also divisible by 3. That's pretty cool to discover, isn't it? Look at it. All right, just try to add 5 to 1. It's still going to give you what? It's still going to give you 6. And just as we got when we added 1 to 5 in 15 and we got 6. That means 15 itself is divisible by 3. So by exchanging the digits in a multiple of 3, we still get a number that is a multiple of 3. Wow, interesting. Does that work only for 15? Let's check and see if that will work for 63. 63, we have already established that is divisible by 3. Now, if you decide to change the order of the digits, that is, if 3 comes first and 6 comes last, we're going to get a number 36, and 36 is divisible by 3. Wow, this is pretty cool to discover, isn't it? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. The same thing happens with 18,063. No matter how we decide to change or rearrange the digits of 18,063, we're going to get a number that is divisible by 3. For example, if we decide to have 81063, 81063 is still divisible by 3. If we decide to have 16308, it is still divisible by 3. If we decide to have 36081 or 30681 or 31680, anyhow you rearrange them, you will discover that you're getting numbers that are divisible by 3. That's very interesting property of numbers that are divisible by 3. That's great. Now, but away from numbers that are divisible by 3, let's move on and check what is a test of divisibility for 4. Numbers divisible by 4. Now, a number is divisible by 4 if it is divisible by 2 twice. If a number can be divided by 2 twice, then that number is exactly divisible by 4. So that should let you know that any number that will be divisible by 4 has to be an even number, because numbers divisible by 2, they are even numbers. So only numbers that are even in the first place will be divisible by 4. I'm not going to give examples on that because it's pretty straightforward. Because if you just want to know whether a number is divisible by 4, just check if it's divisible by 2 and check if it's divisible by 2 again. Then that is that. So I'm jumping over to numbers divisible by 5. How do we know whether or not a certain large number is divisible by 5 even without doing the actual division? Look at this. A number is divisible by 5 if its last digit is 5 or 0. Wow. If any number ends with 5 or 0, that number is exactly divisible by 5. And I have some examples here. Okay? I have some examples here. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 100, 105, 110, 200, 2000, even the large number 45,895. That number is pretty large, isn't it? Yeah, but it still doesn't matter, because once it ends with 5, we know that that number is exactly divisible by 5. So it's quite simple. Once a number ends with 0 or 5, no matter how big, no matter how large that number is, we can tell that it is exactly divisible by 5. That's great. So what about 6? How do we know whether or not a number is divisible by 6? Here is a test of divisibility for 6. Now, a number is divisible by 6 if it passes the test of divisibility by 3 and it is even. So numbers divisible by 6 are only even numbers. All right? Numbers that are not even numbers are not exactly divisible by 6. The number has to be, first of all, even, and then it will pass the test of divisibility by 3. When that happens, that number is exactly divisible by 6. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about the test of divisibility for 7. I'm not going to talk about it in this video. So do well to check out my next video, and I will give you the test of divisibility, how you're going to know whether or not a certain large number is divisible by 7. So here is an assignment that I have for you on your screen. So write out the numbers that are exactly divisible by 2 from the list below. You're going to do that in the comment section. All right, from these numbers on your screen, pick out the ones that are divisible by 2 and put the answer in the comment section. I'm going to check them out and give my reply to all of them. Okay, this is the second one. This one says, which of these numbers are divisible by 3? Write them out. Write them out. Okay, and the last one says, identify the numbers that are divisible by 5 by writing them out. So you can pause the video at any point you want and copy down the numbers, then do the assignment and put it in the comment section, the answers in the comment section, and we'll attend to them. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.